This is James Mathers at NAB 2018 for the Digital Cinema Society and New Bay Media. I'm here with my friend Les Zellan of Zgc and Cooke Optics, an Oscar winner, by the way. And I want to find out about your lenses, but the talk of the show is the large format. But this is nothing new for you.
You know, last year we introduced the S7 series, which are full frame, well, we call them full frame plus because they actually they have wider coverage than just full 24 by 36. And this is one of the few times, I think, in optical history that the lenses are here before the cameras. We were pleasantly surprised. Everybody thinks that the camera guys talk to us and say, guess what's coming, Les? Build some lenses, but they don't. So it was really, we're just working on the rumors that everybody in the industry heard. And fortunately, they were correct. And what's taken us a bit by surprise is that there's not just one camera now. There are at least 4 cameras that I know of, between Canon and Sony and Arri and Red. And I'm sure there'll be more. So, you know, it turns out that introducing the S7s last year was really ahead of the curve. And of course, unfortunately, what that means is we're back ordered like crazy. But of course, that won't surprise any Cooke customers. We're still back ordered on S4s, which we introduced 20 years ago. So it's a good problem, but it's also very frustrating. So this year, with the additional large format cameras, we have announced some new focal lengths that we'll be adding to the S7 line. A 16, a 21, a 27, and a 65. That'll be coming out over the next 6 to 12 months. But certainly large format is the buzz this year, you know, so.
Anamorphic is also popular, and you've been doing that for a long time, too.
Not that long, you know. We introduced our anamorphic line here 2-3 years ago. I can't remember now. And it's been going phenomenally well. We now have 2 series of anamorphic lenses, one we call the regular and one we call SF, which is special flare. It has a little bit more, you know, blue streaking and, you know, flare across it than the normal ones do. Last year we introduced the zoom lenses. Right here we have the 35 to 140, and then around the corner there's a 45 to 450. The important thing to note about all of our lenses is that they are full format.
Spielberg calling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hi, Steve. The important thing to note about all of our anamorphic lenses is that they're front anamorphic, which, you know, if you want your anamorphic pictures to look anamorphic, you have to do your squeezing in front of the iris. If you do it behind the iris, you'll get the coverage, but you won't get the bokeh, you won't get all the anamorphic artifacts that, you know, add character and personality. And to my way of thinking, the only reason to shoot anamorphic is to get that kind of the artifacts and the personality. If you want it to be really clean, shoot spherical. It's easier, cheaper, et cetera, et cetera.
I know you've been doing a lot of educational outreach on the website. Can you tell us about that?
Well, we started a couple of years ago what we call Cooke Optics TV, cookeoptics.tv. And it is a lens agnostic. It's not Cooke-centric. We talk to mainly directors of photography and cinematographies, but also directors and colorists and a whole gambit of production-oriented people. And what we're interested in is, you know, how they solved a problem, interesting stories, how they interact with actors, how they interact with directors. It's a fascinating resource. We have a lot of universities now that actually have told us they use it as a teaching tool. And as I said, I would imagine probably more than half the people that we interview are you know, use brand X lens and not, you know, brand C. But if they have an interesting story, that's what it's all about. It really is a labor of love to the industry to, you know, just to educate people, and it doesn't hurt. It raises our profile, but it's not Cooke-centric.
And where do they find that?
That's at Cooke Optics, COOKEOPTICS.TV. as opposed to .com, which is our corporate site.
Thank you so much, Les.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Jim.